Are you a morning person?
I am the opposite of a morning person. I mean, we all just survived a global pandemic. Like, are we okay?
Yeah. Stacy's shaking her head.
No. If right now all you have is your job, go get another hobby. If you get laid off, you're not just your job. This feels like my thing.
Yeah.
Like, I'm so happy. My job is like, it doesn't feel like a job.
Hello and welcome to Good Job New Mexico. I'm Stacy Johnston.
And I'm Karla Meléndez. For this interview, we talked to Thea Muehlenweg, who is a fitness coach at Orange Theory Fitness. And I really liked this conversation. She taught me a lot about not letting myself get stuck.
For sure.
Yeah.
She's just so positive and like, yep, didn't work out. And then I just did this. And maybe that wasn't it either. And then I pivoted again.
I think one of my favorite things that she said was, it's okay to get fired. And
Yeah.
maybe I'm paraphrasing. You'll hear it in the episode. And where you are right now might not be meant for you. And that's okay.
Exactly. And you might have been where you're at for a long time. And I think making the change sometimes is scary.
Right.
And in her instance, it was kind of like forced upon her. But then she ended up finding a true passion.
Yeah.
And would that have happened if other things hadn't happened beforehand? I don't know. I like to think so because I think she had this in her from who knows when. Definitely not in school because that was like, all of us are like, PE. But
Why do they make us so rough?
I don't know. I feel like it was always destined for me to have physical fitness before like picture day.
So you're like red in all of your pictures?
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, I always come to school scraggly. It's fine.
Well, yeah, so she's an Orange Theory Fitness coach. I go to Orange Theory Fitness and she motivates me a lot. She also makes me sweat a lot. Are you going to come to a class with me, Stacy?
I'm scared for myself. I'll give it a go.
Let's do it.
Okay, I should go and support Thea and attend one of her classes.
Yes.
I'll come in like a scared little person, not knowing like, where do I go and what do I do next?
That was me on my first class. And I feel like when I see people who are there for their first time, very similar. But once you're in there and once you're doing the thing, running or doing the inclines or lifting the weights or rowing the row.
I think I'd really enjoy her as my instructor too, because she sounds really sweet and motivating. And that's what I need. So if I'm there walking, I'm not going to get judged, am I?
No. Oh, God, no. Absolutely not. I'm telling you. Flexible. Okay. It's amazing. You won't regret it.
Well, there you go. I'm sold.
Okay. We're going to be there, Thea, when you're listening to this.
Thea. But honestly, her story is so motivational and amazing. And I hope you all enjoy this episode as I know we did.
Yes. So without further ado, here's Thea. Thanks for being here. We're really excited to talk to you this morning.
I'm excited to be here. Thanks for having me. This is kind of exciting.
Can you tell us a little bit about yourself? What do you do?
I'm a coach at Orange Theory Midtown. So I lead group fitness classes with anywhere from 12 to 24 people at our studio. I make them get sweaty in a fun way.
This is true. I can attest to this firsthand.
So how did you get started? Have you always liked fitness?
No, actually. I got my master's in public administration and I couldn't find a job.
Oh.
Well, I could, but I didn't want to get paid that low. So I didn't take any of those jobs. So I ended up at a nonprofit and then I was like miserable for a while. And then I got laid off and I started teaching Pilates. They were like, you should get personal training certified. And then I was a personal trainer for a while. And then COVID hit and it was really hard. Now I'm at Orange Theory doing group fitness and kind of getting that personal training, but I get to do it in like a group scale. So that's really fun.
Do you think if that layoff hadn't happened, do you think you would have still ended up as a personal trainer?
I think I would have kept trying to make the square peg hit in the round hole. I'm so glad I got fired.
Right.
I should have quit like 2 years into that job, but I just thought you have to have a job and a job title to be worthwhile. If I wasn't, let go from that job, because when I graduated with my MPA, there were so many MPAs and like so many people told me that. They were like, 4 other people with MPAs just applied to this job. Like I kept having that happen. Other states were like, Ohio was like, oh, we'll hire you right now. Move here. And I didn't want to leave Albuquerque. Like, this is my home. I don't want to leave Albuquerque. I love it here. Like, New Mexico rocks. Like, why would I want to leave this place? I know people talk about like, oh, land of entrapment. I'm like, get out then. This is my place. Like, it's awesome here. Like, why don't you love it? Our sunsets, we have mountains right there. Like, this place is awesome. I don't want to leave here. But like, you're not stuck where you are and you can always try something different. Like at Orange Theory, I'm making way more than I ever made at the nonprofit. I don't work as many hours. I'm way happier. Like, why did I try to do that for so long? But I felt like I should.
Do you think it's like a cultural thing? Like it's just the way our society works?
I'm sure. It's not your happiness, not your mental health, but like, what's your job title? Can you talk at a networking event and sound important?
Right. I can't.
Same.
But I love fitness. It's like movement to me is so important. And I kind of fell into this field. When I was younger, I wish that I had searched more to find like my thing, because this feels like my thing.
Yeah.
Like I'm so happy. My job is like, it doesn't feel like a job. Like I'm so excited to go see my friends and like make them get sweaty. Sorry.
Right. I'm telling you every time.
Well, I think it's really exciting that this happened to you at such a young age too, because there's some people who go like 20 years feeling the way that you did and then make that big change. And it's like, oh my gosh, why didn't I do this sooner?
When you're young, it's like you feel like you have to do things. After 30, it's like, I don't have to do anything. Like, like let go of that. But it's hard when you're young, I think, to, believe in yourself enough to go outside of your comfort zone. When I first became a personal trainer, I was like so weird and so awkward at it because it's such a human interaction sort of thing. And it's not, I'm like, here's this perfect workout. But if you don't frame it to that client correctly, they're not going to get a good workout. They're not going to get it. So you have to build not only like the people skills, but also have that background knowledge of like, this is going to be a good workout for you. This isn't going to be a good workout for you because you had a hard day, or your hip movement is going to cause trauma. I thought, I go to school, I learn the things, and then I can get the jobs. But it's like, no, you do the job, and then that's how you learn to do the job.
Yeah.
You got to just do it.
When you were younger and coming into more of yourself, what did you think you were going to be when you grew up?
I thought that I was going to be an artist.
Oh.
I thought that I was going to just like put my paintings in the Louvre. I thought that that's what you did.
You can still do it.
Yeah, like why not?
I went to art school in San Francisco for 2 semesters and I was like, oop, coming back to New Mexico. That was too hard. I did not like art school. I did not like art. It was like, nope, I'm going to go do a real job. And so I got my degree in political science. There's no real job there either. So I don't know. I'm not sure. It's funny because in high school, I was on the cross country team and I was the slowest runner. And they would always yell at me like you can't walk. And I'm like, why not? Like, this is running. You have to run. And I like hated fitness like until I fell in love with it, right? Because I loved it as an adult. It was a great way to like get rid of that frustration and anger. Like running is such a safe place for me now. But when you're a kid, you're like, I don't want to do something I'm told to do, right? So like I would never even have imagined that I would be a fitness professional. Like that wouldn't even have crossed my mind 10 years ago.
I don't know if it was like that for you, but growing up, I'm like, PE.
Yeah, like we're all traumatized from PE. We're all like emotionally scarred.
So for people that don't know about Orange Theory, like myself, what does a typical class look like and how long is it?
So it's 60 minutes and we have treadmills, rowers, and then the weight floor. All the Orange Theories in the world do the same workout every day, unless we're doing like a tornado or a specialty workout or something, but they all do the same workout. The workouts are designed by exercise physiologists, personal trainers. It'll be like a 20-minute block on the treadmill and then maybe like a 20-minute block on the floor. Or sometimes we'll do a switch. And so it'll be like 10 minutes on the treadmill, 10 minutes on the floor, 10 minutes on the treadmill, 10 minutes on the floor. They try to hit all the things. So if the American Heart Association, the World Health Organization says you need this much cardio, you need this much strength training, all those sorts of parameters, we hit them at Orange Theory. So if you're taking 2 or 3 classes a week, you're checking every box. The goal is like one and done, like do 2 workouts and you don't need to work out the rest of the week. Or sometimes we'll do a power workout. So we'll do like more strength based. So we'll put inclines on the treads, your favorite.
Oh my God, I hate the inclines.
But the problem is you get really addicted like me, and then you go 6 times a week and you're like, why am I so sore?
You know what? I ran 2 miles on an incline the other day though, so it was great.
Whoa.
I bought myself a hat for it.
Yes, you deserved it.
Yeah, right? I earned it. Thea, what do you think are the most important skills that someone has to have to be an effective, instructor?
I think that you really have to like people. I think that you have to care about people. I think you have to have a lot of patience. If anyone wants to go into the fitness industry, they should just start right now. Go on Groupon and get a certification right now, and then go get a client and try it and see if you have what it takes.
Is that what you did?
No, I was like I was teaching Pilates and laid off. And then my students were like, you're amazing. Go get your personal training certification. And I was like, okay. And now I love it. So I don't want to say that you have to have this soft skill, but like if you like people, you don't want to work a 9 to 5, maybe fitness is the profession for you.
In your position, what kind of training certifications do you need to have?
So much training. We just did a microaggression training. We have so much training at Orange Theory, which is really nice.
Yeah.
I am personal training certified. So I have a personal training cert through the American Council of Exercise. And then they have their own certification system. So I have the first phase of Orange Theory certification, whatever. It took me about 4 weeks to get through it, probably like 40 hours a week. It was kind of a lot. And then we did an extensive 7-day training, and then we had auditions to get the job. So they make it sound a little cutthroat, but I've tried everything. I've done beach body, water aerobics. Like I have so many certifications because every year you need continuing education credits. And because I've been a personal trainer now for almost 10 years, like I've just gotten so many. So the certifications really help give you like confidence, I think, but it's actually like I have a TRX certification. I've actually worked with clients on the TRX. So I think you need all the little pieces of paper, but it's really doing the thing more than the certifications. The most helpful certification I ever got was the Orange Theory one, because it was very much like you have to use this specific language. Even when I got my group fitness certification, they're like, this is your deltoid. And it's like, yeah, but what about your anterior, your posterior deltoid? Like they didn't even go into the real anatomy of like your muscles are more complicated than this is your bicep, if that makes sense. Like there's your long head and your short head, and there's so much more in it. So it can be a little bit overwhelming if you're like new to fitness, some of the language. And so the certifications definitely like give you confidence as an instructor to be like, I know what I'm talking about.
What is your schedule like? So obviously 9 to 5. So, and are you a morning person?
I am the opposite of a morning person. So when I first started, they put me on, I coached the 4:55 a.m. and the 6 a.m. And I dreaded it every week. Like it was so stressful and it like really... And then I guess the morning people decided I was too perky. So they got feedback that I was like too happy. And so they took me off the morning schedule, and I'm like, yes. So now I only coach the evenings on Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and then mornings on like mid-mornings on Friday and Saturday.
Yeah, no, that's true. I could be getting up at like 3 a.m. to see someone, a client, or you could be, up until 10 p.m. with a client. Right, because it depends on when the person's most effective in their fitness. For me, I like the evenings. I will not be getting up at 4:55 in the morning to take an Orange Theory class.
So what are your long-term goals in this position? Like, where do you see yourself 5-10 years?
If I could, I would just coach at Orange Theory forever. It's a little scary being in group fitness because like if I break my arm, if I break my leg, I don't know if I could do my job. So it's a little scary. My physical body is so important to my job that if something happened to it, I could not do my job, which that is stressful. So thinking about like, okay, I'm 34 right now, which is like great, but like, in 10, 20 years, am I still going to be able to do this? So I am going back to school. I'm trying to get the prereqs to become a physical therapist. I want to apply to the doctoral program at UNM, but apparently you have to take STEM classes. So I'm working through them. That's my long-term goal, is to like Orange Theory as long as I physically can, and then have a plan to help more people. Because my ultimate goal with movement would be able to be like, here, doctor, this is workout A through Z, and you can just prescribe it to a client. I do believe movement is super healing, and mobility is so important. And I know so many people who can't do this. Like that's pretty common. Like what I'm doing is raising my arm towards the ceiling, but that's scary. Like imagine living your life not being able to do that. And with certain exercises, you will get that range of motion back. But it's scary, right? Like I don't want to do all the reps. I don't like what you were saying before. Like people have this negative connotation about exercise, it being this painful, hard, difficult thing. And it's not. It's not. It feels good.
And I really like that. I think we're so stuck on doctors prescribing drugs and medicine, right? That's what we get prescriptions for. So I think having a prescription for a specific exercise, that would be amazing.
That's the end goal of being able to help more people, because I do think if we can introduce more people to movement, we would all be better. Mm-hmm. I really believe that we would feel better in our bodies. We would, and the mental component of it, which is we all just survived a global pandemic. Like, are we okay? I don't know.
Yeah. I get that. Stacy's shaking her head.
No,
I don't know.
I don't know either. Yeah, I don't know either. Because your body is so important to your job, does it make you think twice when it's, hey, we're all going to go skydiving, or we're going to go do something that's a little bit more radical?
Nobody has ever asked me to go skydiving.
Let's
thankfully.
do it.
Yeah, do you want to?
No. That sounds scary.
I mean, does it make you think twice about different activities?
I wish that it did, because sometimes I will, I'll coach 3 classes. I'll take an Orange Theory class. I'll go for a 5-mile run. I'll take a yoga class. I'm going to be like, let's do this spin class. And then I'm like, why does everything hurt? Like, why did I do all of that? Because I don't think about it. And then I'm like, oh, I have to work all day tomorrow. So I wish that I did think a little bit more about, oh, wait, I need this tool. I should probably be nice to it.
When you were let go, I think that's a really hard point in a lot of people's lives, to have been let go from a job that you weren't expecting it to end so suddenly. How did you handle that transition from going on to the next job, to the next phase?
Honestly, not well. My whole personality, everything was tied into, I was a director at this nonprofit, and it was everything. It was my life. I lost friends when I got laid off. I was going to all those networking events with all the nonprofit community. I was shut out, and I had a really hard time with it. It's funny because I talk to people and they're like, well, was it your fault you were fired? I was like, probably. Like, that doesn't matter. Like, we're all at some point going to make mistakes, going to mess up, budget restrictions or whatever. Right? Like hopefully not, but like that just happens. And it's definitely something that we don't talk about. It happens to a lot of young people, and it's easy to get closed in. And I'm glad that I had that opportunity to like reassess my life and kind of get shaken out of the mold I was in, because I should have quit that job. Like, I remember going to a meeting and one of my coworkers took one of my Excel spreadsheets that I had made and like turned it into a PDF and said she made it. I didn't think about it, but I needed to be more cutthroat. But I didn't understand that I should have been like, no, that's my spreadsheet, and standing up for myself. But it was a spreadsheet. Like, if you work in a place like that where you have those notions of like, well, that's kind of messed up, like listen to them, because maybe you shouldn't be there. Honestly, teaching Pilates, like I teach Pilates at Los Volcanoes Senior Center. That group of 50 plus seniors, they were my community, and like they're still my community. I love them. I don't know what I would have done if I didn't have that. If right now all you have is your job, go get another hobby. That's my advice. Yeah. Because if you get laid off, have something else for you. You're not just your job. Not to get all deep, sorry.
No, thank you for
that's
sharing.
great.
Thank you. Yeah. I think it's important for people to hear that, because somebody might be going through it right now, but just to know that maybe you just need to get shaken out of your tree to find like your real path. And I think everybody's on their own specific path, and you get to where you're meant to be eventually at some point. Okay, we're going to ask some rapid, not so rapid questions. What's your go-to lunch?
Can I say a beer? That doesn't count.
I mean, if that's what you have for lunch, then that's
interesting advice from a fitness. I mean, no judgment, but just interesting.
I usually grab like a protein shake and sometimes I'll grab a beer for lunch. I know that's not the greatest, but I'm not a good breakfast person, so I usually have like a big dinner.
Sure. Yeah.
Beer. That's what lunch is. Can you describe your current job using only emojis?
Probably the orange heart flexi emoji, the hot emoji going, the sweaty faced emoji. Yeah. That's my job.
Do you have a phobia?
Elevators. I made him take me up the stairs. Yeah. Wow. They give me vertigo. They freak me out. I don't know. Mm-hmm. Thank you for letting me take the stairs.
Yay. Milo's do you like the stairs, Milo? Milo's our producer. Oh, good. Otherwise, it'd be like, oh, the stairs.
No, that's a good one. I
think it ties into your brand because it's fitness. You're moving.
It's because I'm health conscious, not because I'm a weirdo and afraid of elevators.
So what do you do when it's like a 12-story building?
I will take the 12 stories.
Oh my God.
If I can, yeah. If they let me take the stairs, I will.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that tracks. If you could learn any skill instantly, what would it be and why?
Calculus. I am struggling to learn calculus. If I could just instantly learn it, it would make my life
so much easier. Yeah.
I barely made it through. Shout out to Jason, who helped me get through calculus after class every time, because no, it was not my jam.
I need calculus-based physics for my prereqs.
Oh my God, that sounds... You got this.
You got this.
Yes.
For sure. Find somebody in the class that will sit with you afterwards. I'm not kidding. That's how I got through.
I've taken it 3 times. I'm going to try a 4th. Hopefully I'll get through it.
You got this.
Do you start in the fall? Maybe.
Okay. So final question. Red or green?
Green.
Yeah.
Or Christmas, I guess.
Yeah, Christmas is good too.
Thank you guys.
Thank you
so much, Thea. Thanks for being here.
This was fun.
Yay. Bye.
Bye. This has been a New Mexico Department of Workforce Solutions production.
Our producer is Mila Koleski.
This episode was engineered and mixed by John Sloan.
Theme music is One Fine Day, courtesy of Podcast.co.
Follow the show on social media at GoodJobNM.
For program funding, visit dws.state.nm.us/funding.
Bye.
Goodbye.